I am so excited today. I've got a special guest from a iconic band that I have loved my whole entire life, and I cannot believe I have him on the podcast. It is none other than Jon Lee from S Club 7. Jon was one of my favorite members of the band. It just always just got me in his beautiful voice, and he's just an absolutely gorgeous human being. And I am really honored that I get to have Jon on the podcast. It's a beautiful conversation. We touch on the sad loss of his dad to motor neuron disease and how he worked through that and came through that and the growth and the journey that he's been on. And it's so raw, open, and honest. And he's such a beautiful human being. And I can't wait for you to hear the conversation. So I'm going to get straight into it with Jon from S Club. We'll see you soon. Welcome back, everybody, to the podcast, and I'm so excited to welcome my beautiful special guest for today. It is none other than Jon Lee!
Hey, how's it going? You all right?
Oh, I am so good. I am overwhelmed and thrilled that you're here, to be honest.
It's my pleasure, my pleasure. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan, so I'm very happy to be here.
That means the absolute world, because right back at you, I was an avid S Club listener in my formidable years, and S Club still comes on, and I'm just gobsmacked that we haven't been able to connect. That's the magic of the world of the internet.
It is
really,
the
isn't
magic
it?
of Instagram, the magic of social media.
What is happening in your world? You're about to embark on an incredible new adventure now. It's starting quite soon now, isn't it?
It starts on the 11th of August. Yeah, it's my first little dipping my toe into the world of reality television.
Yeah,
so it's
Celebs Dating.
Celebs Go Dating. Yeah, so yeah, that starts on August 11th, and it's on for 5 weeks, I think. So it's a lot.
Wow, how was your experience going on
It was
dates?
good. It was good. It was all right. I surprised myself really because, like I say, I've never done reality TV before, and I actually really enjoyed it. It was nice to just be myself because obviously, when you're part of S Club, you have to present yourself in a certain way, and you only get asked like certain questions, obviously about the band and about the music. There's not really a lot of scope for you to really be yourself and show your personality. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm probably going to come across as a complete dickhead, but that's absolutely fine. If the shoe fits, Hannah, if the shoe fits, then that's fine.
Yeah, after doing it now twice and being on like reality TV, there is something with the edit. You never know how it's going to be. You can only be yourself, and then whatever they do with that, it is what it is.
It does all come down to the edit at the end of the day. As I mean, you film like all day long, and they're only going to use like a few minutes here and there. So you just hope that they pick good minutes.
Yeah.
Good minutes. Yeah.
Have you been wanting to get back into the dating pool for a while? What was your story in wanting to do the show?
Yeah, I'd been single for 6 years, so it was like a now or never sort of situation. And I moved down to Cornwall about 3.5 years ago, and it's very remote down here. It's very quiet, so it's not really the gay capital of the UK. So for me to put myself out there would have taken a bit of an effort because obviously, like, the main bars and things like that are in London, and for me that's like a 4.5 hour journey. So the opportunity for the show came up, and I was like, do you know what, if I don't do this, I'm not actually going to put myself out. I'm not going to make the effort. Do you know what I mean? So I'll probably end up just like some old spinster rattling around the countryside. So I just thought I might as well give it a shot.
It's a fascinating. I've been with my partner for 8 years, but like that world of dating is shifted so much, and it's terrifying to even think about. So I can't imagine.
No, exactly. And that was another thing as well, because obviously for the show, they organize the dates and they pick the venues and they pick the people and all this kind of stuff. So it was a kind of a good way to, put it out of my hands and let someone else organize everything for me.
That's fair. Are you a simple kind of date person? What's your ideal date?
I had a few good dates actually. I met some really nice guys. Everyone was lovely. It's just finding that person that you have like an instant spark with, an instant connection. There was definitely people I met where I'd be like, yeah, I would hang out with you and have a drink, I mean, we'd be friends kind of thing, but that wasn't really what I was looking for. Yeah, for me, it was just finding someone who I had that instant attraction to, but also when you actually spoke to them and had a conversation with, there was a connection on a deeper level as well, which, proved to be a little bit more difficult than I had anticipated. But yeah, it was all right.
I suppose as well, you've got like people probably coming on to the show as well because it's a TV show as well. So there's added layers of that. Are they there for just you, or are they there for the love? Or that's quite an interesting situation.
Exactly. And also, of course, you're there trying to be as natural as possible. And it's very difficult to do that when you've got a microphone clipped to your shirt and there's 5 cameras around you and like a crew, and you're very aware that everything you say is being listened to by the producer who's sitting over there with headphones on.
Yeah.
I'm used to being in front of the camera. I've been doing it for a long time, but for
Mm.
these guys that were coming into it had never been in front of a camera before, it was quite a daunting experience for those guys, I think. And there was a few nervous people, definitely.
No, I can imagine. Far out. It is frightening. And it is, like you say, it's not the most natural experience in the world. Especially
No,
if
it's
they
not.
did you have moments where like you'd be filming and like an interaction would happen, they go, oh, we need a pickup of that. Gotta get back in. So you gotta re-ask the natural question
There was a few. There was a
again.
few. There was sometimes when like the conversation might have dried up slightly, and then you just get a little word in your ear going, "Talk about this," or "Ask him about this." And yeah, again, if things got lost in the sauce, kind of thing, then they'd ask you to repeat things, and trying to pick those up and make them sound as natural as possible is it's
Oh,
really eggy, but
yeah.
yeah,
Because it's always that like that real cheesy, like you always hear it I hear it all the time on Drag Race. I'm like, that poor bitch. She had some deep conversation, and at the end they're like, God, tell me about how your mum died.
yeah,
Entrance line is always real rough.
yeah, exactly.
But I'm really excited to see this brand new adventure for you. I'm thrilled. But I want to get to know a bit more about you and like your history. I know a big part of your life has probably been S Club. That's
Yeah.
what I think a lot of people would know you from. And I want to know a bit about yourself and what you've been doing and how you've got to the place where you are today.
After S Club, I took a step. I wasn't really that massively. I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved being in S Club. I love being Jon from S Club.
Mm,
I've been Jon from S Club for 2/3 of my life. Do you know what I mean? And that's
mm.
still how people. That's like my official legal name, like Jon from S Club. And that's how people. That's how people like. Hey, it's Jon from S Club.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I absolutely love that. But I think after S Club, I wanted to take a little step back out of the limelight because it wasn't a place I was massively comfortable in. So I went back into musical theatre, which is where I trained. And then I went straight into Les Mis in the West End. And I did that for a couple of years and then did various other shows over the years as well. And then S Club, we decided to do another tour in 2015,
Yeah.
which went really well. And then we just did another one in 2023 as well. So it's always there on the back burner. That's a great thing about it. All the hard work, we've done all the hard work. So every now and again, we can just bring it out and wheel us out. Yeah, exactly. Just wheel us out again every now and again.
I love that you're a musical theatre guy. I forget that. What is, because I'm a musical theatre girly myself. Would you go back into theatre again?
It's more difficult now because, like I say, I live like 4.5 hours away from London. So for me, it would be a case of relocating there for the period of the show. And I've got my 3 dogs now, and it has to be something very, very special to take me away from them for a long period of time. And also, it's bloody hard work as well. As it's 8 shows a week, it's relentless. And I'm just, do you know what? I'm too fucking lazy, Hannah. It's too much. It's too much hard work for me now. It is.
But if you could, what if there was a role to entice you back? What's one of your little dream roles that you
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is as well? I've actually been really lucky because the role I always wanted growing up was Marius in Les Mis. And I got to play, I did it. And the next one after that was Frankie Valli and Jersey Boys. And I did that as well. So I ticked my little boxes of the things I really wanted to do. I would love to play Jean Valjean, but I don't have the voice for it. I think that's an incredible role. But you also have to know your limits as well. You know what I mean? It's like Jean Valjean isn't in my vocal range, unfortunately.
And you were at the iconic theatre, like in London as well, like where it's been for years. What's the theatre called?
The Palace Theatre was where it was made its home, and then it moved to the Queen's Theatre. So I was actually at the Palace, and I was in the cast that moved it to the Queen's Theatre.
Oh, wow. That's pretty legendary. That's pretty...
It is. I was only like 22. It was 21 years ago now, I think. 20 years ago, yeah.
And to come off the back of such an extreme high with S Club and that experience to then go into musical theatre and do that as well, that's just freaking insane. I love
it. Is, yeah. I was very lucky, very fortunate. And again, like it was something that I'd always really wanted to do. And I think if you wish hard enough and work hard enough, it will come your way in the end.
Yeah, have you been always theatrical and like, was that something that you were brought into with your family? Did you do
Not my family at all. My dad was a builder. My 2 brothers are builders. We came from a very normal family. We lived down in Devon, which is not too far from here, which again was about 4 hours away from London. And I did amateur dramatics. And when I was like 11, they did a little play of Oliver, and I played Oliver. And then there was an advertisement that Cameron Mackintosh was putting on Oliver at the London Palladium in London. My dad was just like, "You can do it down here. Do you want to try and do it there?" And I was like, "Yeah, go on then." They drove me
See
to
what
London.
happens.
They drove me to London, and I ended up getting it. And then I stayed in London. I won a scholarship to go to Sylvia Young Theatre School, which is like one of the best theatre schools in London. So I stayed from like the age of 12. I moved to London and started working.
That is, so you're a child star.
I was, yeah. I was
Yeah.
treading the boards when I was 4 foot nothing with my little bowl haircut. Yeah.
So cute. I love that. So there was none of the performers in your family, just like the little rare
No.
gemstone, the sparkling
Yeah, just
stone that
came out kicking and twirling, and yeah, that was it. Straight into Amdram.
Wow, far out. That's so wild. I love that you're a little rare little sparkle. And I suppose speaking of sparkle, what was your journey of coming out, especially being in the public eye? How's
That
that
was
for
yeah.
you?
That was quite difficult for me because I think because I was so young, like I was only 15 when I went into S Club.
Mm.
So knowing that I was a queer kid then, and it was the 90s as well, so the world was a very different place.
Very
We didn't
different
have wonderful
place.
shows
Yeah.
like Drag Race on TV,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean, to shine the light and lead the way.
Yeah.
So it was a very different time then. Like my close friends and my family knew, but it wasn't something that I was particularly comfortable being like public knowledge, because it was the kind of the era of the tabloids here in the UK as well, and it wasn't a positive thing to have your Jon Lee gay like splashed across the front page, which they did to Stephen Gately, and that just terrified me.
Yeah.
The thought of that happening to me. Yeah, I put that side of my life on hold completely until I went back into theatre, and when I was probably like 23 when I had my first boyfriend properly. He's Australian.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little Aussie lad called Joe, and he was from Byron Bay, and he was over here, he's working, but he's moved back now, he's married, and we still keep in contact. He's one of my dear friends. Yeah.
Oh, it's so beautiful because it does break my heart that because I was a little queer kid myself in the 90s. I think even though I didn't know that like you were gay, there was always an affinity I think that we always have with other queer people that when you end up finding out, you're like, yes, that makes so much sense because I was always drawn to you. And I felt like you had a level of just comfortability about yourself. So it's interesting to hear that it shone through and it resonated with queer people like myself. Have you heard that from other people?
I have. I've heard from a few people that I was like their first crush,
Yeah.
and things like that. I think people who are queer and who are gay, like there was no question that I was gay.
Yeah.
There's no question about it.
Yeah.
But it was just something that I wasn't very comfortable like talking openly about at the time, because yeah, again, being 15, 16, 17, those are the years when you should be finding out who you are in the world, and you go to college and all that kind of stuff, and have your first boyfriend, all that sort of stuff. But I was growing up in this huge sort of world spotlight, do you know what I mean? So I didn't really have the opportunity, and I was working all the time as well. I was literally working every day, every hour God sent. There wasn't really a lot of time to explore that side of my life anyway.
Has it been fun to reconnect with that now that you're doing like the Celebs Going Dating? Is that cathartic a little bit?
It is, and I spoke about it on the show as well. To be able to sit there now as a very proud, openly gay man. I'm 43 now, but it's to be able to sit there and go on TV and just feel completely comfortable with who I am, and that's a huge thing for me. And I'm very proud of the journey that I've made, and that I finally get to be completely comfortable in your own skin. That's a big thing for me.
It's like a reintroduction to yourself in your full glory, in your full power.
Yeah, I didn't get to fool around that much when I was in my sort of like teens and early 20s, but I certainly made up for it in my 30s.
Yeah. I appreciate that, babe. Honestly, I've been there.
Yeah, I'm not going to try and make out I'm some angelic like person, because I really wasn't at all. But yeah, I certainly made up for it.
Oh, I'm so excited. It's just so nice. Like I said, like of course you're a very handsome man, but for me as a kid watching you, I just felt like there's people like me, and you didn't need to do anything apart from be you, and it was very
That's nice
special.
to hear. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I just was like, I can get out there and achieve something, even though like I have a bit of a limp wrist or whatever. There's people like me, and it just shone through so much. And as a kid,
oh, bless you, I appreciate it.
So I wanted to say thank you for that, because
no worries, thank you.
You're a bloody dream. But I'm going to go dive in a little bit deeper, because this podcast is called What's Lost Got to Do with It, and I like to explore all the different parts of like loss that happen in our lives in all of its different forms, be it job, partner, someone you love, like whatever it is. And I want to know, John, what was something that or something that you've lost in your life that has had a significant sort of mark on you, and that's sort of taking you
I
where you are today?
think obviously the biggest loss for me has been my dad. I lost my dad when I was 37, and he was a huge part of my life. He was like the pillar of strength in our family, and it just seemed like a very young. I wasn't ready. Like I wasn't ready to lose my dad in my I was 37. I think anyone who's lost a parent, you're never really ready. But my dad was very. My dad had motor neurons disease,
Oh,
so he watching him disappear in front of my eyes was it just was such a cruel way for him to leave this world as well, which made it even worse. And I didn't deal with that very well at
mhm.
all. Like, I literally went mental. So yeah, I lost my dad and lost my mind all in the same sort of couple of years. So that was difficult. But yeah, I think that's definitely the thing that's had the most impact in my life. And but yeah, also even now, I mean, my dad died. What God, 6 years ago now. But still, it still affects my life. I still think about him all the time. It's still every now and again he'll creep up, or every now and again a situation will happen where I want to talk to him about it. You know what I mean? Because he helped me so much throughout my life in all
Yeah,
different aspects. So yeah, I miss him very much, very, very much.
yeah. I haven't lost a parent as of yet, but I've lost grandparents, and that it's like that, like it's that feeling of oh, they were there, and they oh, you expect them to always be there,
Yeah.
and it's that emptiness that I don't know that I'm always trying to explore of how to feel, and I don't think you ever really can.
No, you can't. You can't. Like I say, my dad was ill for a very long time, so you think you'd be prepared for it. Like he was ill for 5 years, so I knew it was a terminal illness, so I knew he was going to die. But it's still you still can't fully prepare for they're
That
there one
moment.
day and then they're not. Do you know what I
Mm,
mean? That's just your brain can't comprehend that until it actually happens.
yeah, and I don't think yeah, I like it. I don't think we're meant to actually fill that void or that hole. I think you're meant to sit in it and go, this is, it's always got that space. Because I think they're always there with us in some form, in some
Yeah,
realm.
absolutely. Yeah,
Mm,
I like to think so. And like I say, like I think about my dad all the time. There's pictures of him
mm,
on my fridge I'm looking at right
mm.
now. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's that way to keep him alive. Do you know what I mean? Through like when
Yeah.
I do things, I was like, I really wish my dad was here to see this. And I think that was the hardest thing was when I did my first show. My dad saw every single show I've ever done. The first time I did a show and he wasn't there, that
Yeah.
really knocked me, like really, because it was like it felt so strange that oh, this is the first time my dad isn't in the audience. It was really weird.
Oh, bless you. That, oh, man, breaks my heart. I want to know what was one of your fondest memories with your dad? What was one of your favorite things that you guys did together?
My dad was very supportive, and like I say, he drove me to London to do my first audition. And I think, although like S Club, he was very proud of everything I did in that. I remember he took me to see Les Mis when I was probably maybe 14, and I turned around to him when we was watching it and pointed out Marius and said, "I'm going to play that role one day."
Oh,
And so
oh,
when he came to see me on my opening night as playing Marius, like that for me was like a really proud moment.
oh my
Yeah.
God. That's so beautiful that you got to you goal set so hard, bitch. With dad manifesting. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so nice as well to hear like your story with your dad because it's I think it's for a lot of queer kids, it's dads that struggle with
Yeah. My dad never did. Never ever did. Not once. He was.
yeah,
I think he knew. I think he knew.
they all know.
Let's be honest.
They
They
know.
always know.
Yeah.
They might be in denial, but they know deep down. Yeah. But my dad, like, I've been very fortunate. I know you've got a very supportive family as well.
Yeah.
We're very lucky, and I know people that don't have that, and I can't even begin to imagine what that feels like.
It is. It's so fascinating, and like I'm like yeah, like you said, my dad is a very staunch supporter of me. He gets out there, always in the thick of it. If he sees something, he's become a little bit of an online troll sometimes for people that are being homophobic.
Yeah.
And I can imagine your dad would be doing the same thing, to be honest.
No, do you know what? He doesn't get involved. His attitude was
Oh,
always like, "Fuck them." That was
yeah,
always his attitude. If anyone's got anything
yeah,
to say, "Fuck them."
yeah.
That's always been his attitude. And I actually feel like that as well. If you've got time to take out of your day to
Mm.
write something about me, then you've got way too much time on your hands. Go get a
Yeah. Oh
job.
my God. It's so pointless. It's so boring. And
Don't
there's
get it.
more things you could do in your life
Exactly.
than berating us for
Yeah.
who we
For
love
the
and
time
how
it
we
took you to
live.
write that message, you could have done 10 press ups. and that would have made you feel a whole lot better. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, I agree. And you press up quite a bit, so you would know.
Exactly, but it makes you feel good. It
Yeah.
makes you feel good. Sad and lonely and angry people, they're the people sitting on that. People who are exercising and feel great about themselves haven't got time to sit around writing shit about people they don't know.
Yeah, I agree. And as so because you've been quite, you post all your fitness stuff as well and your journey. Has that been something that you've used to process the loss of your dad? Has that been something
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
helped you?
yeah, definitely. It's, I think for anybody, like if you exercise and stuff, it makes you feel good. If you look in the mirror and you like what you do, what I mean, is that makes you feel really good. It was after the tour of S Club, and I was super, super fit after that. And it got to the end of the year, and I was drinking a lot, and I wasn't eating particularly healthily. And I caught sight of myself in the mirror, and I was like, this was about sort of September. And I was like, oh, do you know what? Fuck it. I'll deal with it in January. So I just like enjoyed Christmas. I enjoyed Christmas. I enjoyed New Year. And then January was like, right, come on, let's sort yourself out.
Yeah, and get yourself motivated back on the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I suppose we've all got to have those little moments where we fall off the wagon
Yeah,
a little
definitely,
bit.
definitely. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're doing it all the time and you're not actually enjoying your life, then that's boring as fuck as well. Do you know what I mean? So there has to be a little bit of balance.
I agree. I try to find the balance at the moment, but I always seem to be just in a wig. And I'm like, this is not giving balance, babes. From your journey with your dad and losing your dad, what's something that you found from that
Something that I
experience?
found,
Yeah, from that experience.
I think it was the realization of how much I relied on my dad. Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
And because I was working from such a very young age, my dad helped me with my finances. Like, he helped me pay my bills. He helped, if I needed anything, I would ask him and he would sort it out for me. So there was still an element of being very much a child, even in my adult years, because my dad took care of so much stuff for me. And then obviously when he got ill, he couldn't do that. So the years that he was still with us, taking control of my life, do you know what I mean? And becoming
yeah.
like a fully independent, stand on my own
Yeah.
2 feet, pay my own tax kind of person. So yeah, it was a realization of how much he did actually do for me. And then finding that strength to take on board everything and be able to do everything myself, which was cool.
Yeah. It's because to pick yourself up after those situations is, it
Yeah,
feels
it
like
takes,
it's like a mountain.
grief hits people in very different ways, and sometimes I think would it have been easier if he literally just dropped dead and there was, would that be easier, or would it be easier to have that time with him, but then to watch him suffer so badly, like it
Mm,
was absolutely horrific.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm glad I had those last few years with him, but it was very difficult to see him like that. It was very difficult,
Mm,
and but it was almost a relief when he did pass,
yeah. Was
because
it
he
out of
wasn't suffering
pain?
anymore. Do you know what I mean? And then, but then that, with that comes a feeling of guilt for feeling relief. Do you know what I mean? So it's very messed up, very messed up. It took me a long
Mm,
while to process everything, but yeah, we're all good now. That's good.
yeah. Is there any advice that you would give to people that are going through similar stuff, similar situations like you
Just
experienced?
allow yourself some grace, allow yourself space, because there's no right or wrong way to grieve, and like I say, it affects people in very different ways. So I would advise, my way to grieve was going out and taking shitloads of drugs and drink, which I
Mm.
wouldn't advise that one. That didn't end too badly. But at that time, that's what I needed to do. That's the way I dealt with it, right or wrong. That's
Yeah.
what I did. Obviously, if I could go back and change things, I would. But yeah, I would advise maybe that's not the best option. But yeah, and when we lost Paul from the band, we had grief counselling, and that was actually really helpful. That was probably the way I should have gone with my dad. But yeah, just talk to somebody, find someone who can support you. Do you know what I mean? Because it is and even on days when you think you're okay, you think you've dealt with it, it still comes back and kicks you in the back of the head every now and again. But yeah, just give yourself space and a little bit of grace.
Yeah, a bit of kindness. And
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I can see there's like a light in you that like as you glow at the moment. I don't know what it is. It's just absolutely
I'm
gorgeous.
just
And
very well lit.
yeah, oh wow. I feel yeah, but it's just that you have this lovely warmth about you, and I really hope people take on that advice to give yourself that time to make sure you go down some. Everyone grieves differently, like you said, and we've all got.
Exactly.
And sometimes you might make a mistake, but I think it's about being kind to yourself as well. To go that if you do make mistakes or things aren't going the way that you can course correct.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
Just be a little bit of understanding, and surround yourself with people who are understanding as well. If there's people in your life at the time that are bringing you down and making things worse, you don't need those people in your life at that moment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just make choices about who you have around you as well.
Yeah, that's very good advice. Thank you, Jon. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Thank you for sharing that story. It's really lovely, and I think the part that I love about this podcast is that it's making people feel less alone.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the one thing that we struggle when we do experience loss in whatever form it is that you feel like you're the only one in that situation. But there's people that are going through things and have been through things, and you're an example of that you can progress through it and you can make your way through it.
Yeah.
It's really special. But before we finish up, I want to know what's up. So we've got Celebs Go Dating coming up. What else is next for you, Jon? What's on the horizon? What are your dreams and ambitions?
So Joe from S Club,
Yes.
Joe and I do our own gigs. So we have the Jon Jo Show. So we go out and we've done some quite big festivals and stuff this year, actually. So that's been really fun. So we've got quite a few gigs lined up this year. Next year, potentially, we're in talks at the moment, but there's potentially talks about S Club doing another UK arena tour as well, which would be amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
Wheel us back out.
I don't think there's many complaints for that, babes. We're ready.
No, it's always good fun. And honestly, we're always blown away that it's been 27 years since we started, something like that. And it's always amazes me that people still will come out and still buy a ticket and still come and party with us. It's just beautiful. We love it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited, and I wish you all the best. But is there anywhere that you want me to send the people that are listening to come and see you or follow you?
Yeah, if you just check out my Instagram, like on Joe's Instagram, we'll always post up like where we're going to be and what's happening. Yeah, we try and stay as up to date as possible. I'm not very good on social media, apologies, but yeah, I try my best.
Yeah, but I'll direct them all there, and I'm really excited for your next adventure. Can't wait to watch you on the telly.
Thank you, my love. Thank you, darling. And next time you're in the UK, next time you're in the UK, we have to go out for a drink, definitely.
I am ready. I am absolutely down. But
look forward to it.
Jon, you're an absolute angel, and I can't wait to give you a big old squeeze one day in the flesh.
Perfect.
But thank you for being here, and I adore you. But you enjoy yourself, and I'll see you soon.
No worries, my love. Take care.
Thank you, and we'll be right back after this. Welcome back, my friends. Oh my God, I told you what an absolute joy and an angel Jon is. It melts my heart. He's just such a gorgeous human being. And make sure you go and watch Celebs Go Dating. I'm so excited to see the journey, and I hope that whoever Jon goes on dates with, I will approve. I need to approve them now. We're family. It's just an absolute joy. So go, and also if you're in the UK and you can go and catch Joe and Jon on their shows, you will not regret it. The two of them and their voices is just absolutely sensational. Honestly, it will melt your tits off. But for now, my friends, I'm going to do a little bit of light to mild healing hands. I have asked the interwebs to see if anyone needs advice on anything, because I have a certificate 1 in Reiki, which means I can do hands-on healing, which is so gorgeous. So I generally can just do the hands-on healing, but certificate 2 of the Reiki is where you can do the remote healing, but I'm bypassing that. I'm just doing it on the podcast. So, I am ready to go. So I am going to dive in with our first question, and it is from Jane. And Jane says, who is your inspiration? It's a very broad one. It's not really advice, is it, Jane? But I'm going to tell you my inspiration. It is my parents. My parents are just good bloody people. And if you have listened to that episode on the pod, I think you'll understand why they're my inspiration. You should go listen to that episode if you haven't. My mum and dad. It's a very gay episode. Jane, the inspiration for me in my life is my mum and dad. Next question. How old are you when you started doing drag, and when will you end it? By Amber John. Thank you for your question. It's a very interesting one, because I think there's this time limit that people put on entertainers, especially drag artists. But I think so I started when I was just 18. I've been doing drag for 15 years now, and it's interesting. It's in my bones. This is what I do. This is just my form of entertaining people, and the way that I like to present myself in the world of entertainment. And I consider myself very similar to any other actor, actress, performer. It's a lifelong thing. I don't think it won't stop me doing other different like things and playing around in different pools and different avenues, but this is who I am. I'm a performer. Underneath it all, Hannah and Chris we're the same thing. We're the same person. This is my job. And I don't think I ever will have a time limit on it. I think the only thing that will change is whether or not I wear heels, because that's going to do me back in. But so I might have to go down to a kitten chorus pump or something. But that's the only thing that I really have a time limit on, because if my herniated discs go the way they're going, I'll probably have to be in a kitten heel sooner than I would like. But at the end of the day, I just don't think I'm ever going to end it until it doesn't feel right for me anymore, or I get told to stop, or I have no venues, or I'm not getting booked. Yeah, I don't know. And I think that goes with a lot of things in your life. I don't think you should put time limits on things. You should just see how they go, play their course, and trust your instinct to know that if things aren't working or things need to change, you can shift and you can pivot into another direction. That's my thoughts on that matter. But yeah, interesting question. I like that. I've never really thought about that, but I do believe that some people do perceive us to have a time limit on what we do as drag, because maybe they think it's frivolous or dressing up, or which it is, all those things, but it's more. But my friends, I'm going to leave you with that now. Thank you for listening to the episode today. You've been absolutely amazing. A huge thank you to Jon for jumping on with me and talking to me and sharing those stories. It really means the world to me. I really love that we get to share these stories and we dive in a little bit deeper with each other and being unafraid to have these conversations, because at the end of the day, the more that we talk about these things, the better that we all feel, the lighter that we all feel, and the less alone in the world we feel. I love you all. Thank you again for being here. But for now, I'm going to leave you to it. Have an amazing week with whatever you're doing. Be safe, be fabulous, and be kind to yourself. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one.
Mr. Gecko, you're a huge inspiration to us all, but who was your muse?
My dear old Nan. She would tell me, always remember to be true to yourself and to use that fast and friendly claim support on the Geico app. I follow her advice to this day.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.